There's amazing things that await you. That is the thing that you need. You do not need anything else. Still to this day, have not had my work in any galleries because I refuse. Just begin with something. I do believe that YouTube is the future. I think that that is a very outdated approach. This is gold. 3 years to work out, much remaining. Oh! Start with, hey everyone, today I am gonna tell you in this video something that took me 3 years to work out, but it is going to be what is going to help you do exactly what I did. So make sure you stick around to get on your way to being a full-time creative and start living the life that you deserve. So let's get into it. So this is a commission that I'm working on. And while I'm painting today, I'm going to take you through all of the things that I did to become a full-time creative and the things that you need to also let go of. And they're made up of about 5 different things. So let's start with point one. Point one. But while I'm talking about point one, we are gonna mix some paint. So let's just do that. One more. I had so much remaining. Oh! Guys, you don't understand what this feels like. This is heaven because the amount of time it takes to mix this takes sometimes 20 minutes to half an hour just to find the tub, get the paint in, get the medium in, and then mixing it. This is gold to me right now, liquid gold. So excuse the mess, but we have our blue paint, so I'm gonna start painting. P.S. I still feel so, Right, anyway, let's get started. What you need to do to start. So a lot of people are under the impression that you need to start with a creditable background, being that you were formally educated, that you need to go to some sort of, have had some sort of formal training, or that you have been to art school and got a qualification, and you certainly do not. I think that that is a very outdated approach, especially to artists. If you are looking to sort of venture into fine art, then yes, I do think that art school can benefit you. However, I don't believe that it's something that you need. I think that you can hone in on your skills using other resources that are available online these days. Like you can literally learn a whole craft just from YouTube and online courses, which is basically what I did. Anyway, I didn't have any sort of formal training. You do not need any sort of formal training. I did not have gallery representation. I did not have my work, and still to this day have not had my work in any galleries because I refuse to give away any of my commission to a gallery, because I believe that I have been able to and have proven that I can build my own platform without needing a gallery. And to that, galleries often will take on artists who already have a following because they understand the importance of branding. They understand the importance of marketing. So if we can also really use that as a means to further our own brand and build our own brands, why do we need a gallery for? Okay, so that's just one thing that you definitely don't need. Definitely, I didn't have an audience. I started with 0. Like everybody else, and I built my audience it was mainly through Instagram, and I later found other platforms like TikTok and Facebook, which I am on more so now, but back then it was just Instagram. And so that is all you need. That is all you need. So the number one thing that you need to start with is just yourself, a passion, and some kind of social media. I would recommend YouTube. I would recommend this channel because I do believe that YouTube is the future. I believe that Instagram is on the decline, and I think having a TikTok and having a YouTube is going to be paramount for anybody that is trying to build a personal brand, build a business. It is the cornerstone of your marketing strategy. So that is the thing that you need. You do not need anything else. I'm living proof of that. I've built a business solely on just a passion to create and the will to succeed, one social media channel, and that is it, okay? So that is the one thing that you need to start and to begin your breakthrough. The second, now a lot of artists that I speak to, one of the things that they say to me is, no one's responding to my work. I'm posting and I'm posting and I'm posting and I'm not getting any traction. There's a couple of reasons for that. One of the main ones is the reason your work isn't resonating is because it's not different. Okay, it may be different to you, but in the scheme of things, it may not be different. What you need to do is you need to find your point of difference, right? And that can only happen through experimentation. You constantly have to be experimenting, especially at the beginning. If you are just starting out, do not just stick, if you know watercolors, do not just stick to watercolors. Expand your skills, expand your experience, and work with other mediums, work with oils, work with clay, work with acrylics, charcoal, whatever it might be. Experiment with it, because you will find that doing this not only expands your skills, but it helps you to understand your own craft and what you can be good at, and it allows your brain to work creatively. And one of the things that helped me when I started experimenting was for the first year of my creative journey, was working with alcohol inks. And I had a real love for alcohol inks. I found it such a beautiful medium to work with. However, I found that at that time, which was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, might have been a bit longer, everyone was doing it. So inks was the thing that everybody was doing. It was just coming onto the scene and it was quite new. And when something like that happens, sorry, there's certain parts I just need to really concentrate on. I can't talk. Let me just do this. I need to get this shape right. Ugh. Guys, I've done this piece hundreds. This is my magnolia. I have done this hundreds of times and I still cannot replicate exactly one piece to another. I can't do it. As much as I try, I just can't. And I still stuff it up. Would you believe it? Hundreds and thousands of hours later, I still stuff up this piece. I have to go back. Like, you'd think I'd be able to just do it in like one fell swoop. Is that the right term? One fell swoop. I feel like whenever I'm filming, I just start using words I've never used before. I don't know why I do that. I do it all the time. And then I sort of second guess myself, and then I'm like, why didn't I use that word in the first place? Do I even know what it means? Anyway, oh, okay, I'm happy with that. That's looking so good. I love that shape. Okay, what were we up to? Yes, so I started using alcohol inks, and I just found that my work wasn't landing, and I realized it was because it was so saturated. There was so many other artists on every platform that were also doing alcohol inks, and I thought to myself, I like this, but it's just not giving me what I want out of my journey. And I enjoyed it, but it's not giving me what I wanted out of this creative outlet that I had been using. And I felt like I needed something else. I also wasn't happy with the style. Like, the work I was creating was beautiful and people they liked it, but I didn't love it. So what I decided to do was start venturing out of that medium, right? That medium being alcohol inks. I thought, I started doing a little bit of experimentation. I started looking a little bit online, seeing what else was out there, really researching into what was happening outside of what I usually see, and sort of looking at Pinterest and artists from all over the world. And I sort of came up with this idea that I liked, and it was a combination of color, vibrancy, and texture. And one of the things that I wanted to carry over with me, that I decided to be my signature style, was my gold, because I really, really loved the gold element in my pieces. So I wanted to continue with that, because I found that was something that really resonated with my audience, and it really resonated with my clients. They just loved the gold. So I thought, what if I combine the two? the vibrant colors, the texture. And that's when I started experimenting. So when I say experimenting, I mean bringing a little bit of what you like, obviously, of what you already know, and combining it with something that you may have just found or something that you're experimenting with. So that's what I decided to do. And I found when I started doing that, my audience immediately received it in such a positive way. They were like, this is something I've never seen before. Wow, how did you do this? How did you do that? And that's when I realized that's when my content started to really break through. It's because I started doing something different. All this time I had been looking around all the other artists and looking at what they were doing and not copying them. Obviously, I have a video about this. If you want to see my video about copying and the angle that I take, make sure you visit this video because it's all about that. So that is how I achieved my breakthrough. It was through trying something different, through experimentation, and really sort of honing in on a signature style. Okay, so that's point number 2. So because the third thing is because I started doing what I truly enjoyed, like what really made my heart sing, as corny as that sounds, that's what my audience started to enjoy as well. That's what my clients started to respond to. That's when the orders came flooding in, because my joy that I was expressing through my pieces and my passion was coming through in my work. It was coming through in my content. Because I think we know that when we are creating work that we don't truly love, but we're doing it because we see other artists do it, we're doing it because we think that's what's trending, then it's transparent. You can see through that, and so can our audience, and so can our customers. Guys, I'm getting a head spin. This is what happens to me. Because I'm talking, and I just had my coffee full of caffeine, my head's spinning. I need to have a minute. I need a break. Whew. Not getting enough oxygen up in here. Plus I've got my heater on. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of a blend in that. Let me just see where I'm at. Okay, so when I stopped following trends and I started doing what spoke to me, that is one of the things that helped me break through. When I started doing what I personally found really fulfilling was when I found my breakthrough. And that's when I started enjoying what I was doing. I started enjoying my craft. So my advice is to hone into what you really enjoy. And it may not be something that's trending, but that is so much better than just following what everybody else is doing, because I see this so much. And honestly, I understand, but as someone who's giving advice to a creative out there, just lean into your difference, lean into your uniqueness, into your point of difference. Honestly, it makes such a difference in the scheme of things, in your branding, in your artwork, and just the way in which your messaging comes across to your audience and your clientele. It's so refreshing to see somebody who's genuinely creating art from their heart, and something that they have genuinely created that is original. I love that, and everyone loves that. So that is the other thing that I would recommend doing when trying to find your breakthrough, is lean into your originality and stop following trends all of the time. So experimentation, leaning into your difference, and stop following trends. This is how we break through in 2025. The last point in order to have your breakthrough is you need to do more. So you need to just start, because I know a lot of you are like paralyzed in this state of, what should I do? I should do this, I should do that. Which one should I go with? Just start. Work out your plan, work out exactly what you want to showcase. Start with the first piece that you're working on. Whatever you're working on now, start with that and just begin posting, begin sharing. Because the only way to go forward, it comes through experimentation, it comes from consistency, and don't overthink it. Don't overthink too much about what you should be doing, when, how it's gonna look. Don't worry about that. Just start, because you'll get into a rhythm, and then you will eventually work out what's resonating, what isn't, what your point of difference is. But the point is, you need to start. If you don't start, you're never going to understand what is working and what is not. And then I see it all the time. I see artists, I see creatives do this all the time. They start and they just keep going and they try different things and they try. When you are trying different things and when you are pivoting from what might not be working to what could work, that is when you strike gold. I see it time and time again. And then you are just, that's when your breakthrough happens, when you're experimenting, trying different things, but you have to start. You just have to start. And I know it's hard, because sometimes I even fall into a rut and I overthink, and I have to pull myself back and go, do you know what? Just begin with something and work your way from there, right? So it could be something as small as just posting what you're working on right now, or talking to your camera and talking to your audience and explaining your journey and where you're at and documenting that. It could be showcasing your materials and where you shop from, where you start from in your journey in terms of sketching your pieces, and how the commission process starts and how you approach a commission, the steps of that. It could be anything. There's just so much. Your workspace, how you have brought your workspace from being a corner in your home to being the space that you now work in every day and you're creative in. Document that process. People love relating to that real simple, basic lifestyle stuff. And so doing that is going to help you start, and you're going to grow from that, and then your ideas are going to come. So what you need to do is start, guys. Just start. As I said, you don't need a gallery, you don't need art school. Document your journey and start from where you are at right now. Don't wait for the perfect time. There is never a perfect time. You will wait for it and it will never come, because it doesn't feel that way when you first start, right? It always feels unsure. You feel uncertain. You're not sure if it's going to land. You don't know if your audience is going to like it. But guess what? You're going to know what they're going to like when you start. So start painting, start experimenting, work out your point of difference, work out what your audience is resonating with. And then you will slowly start to gain your confidence. And I hope it gives you the confidence to start. I would love to know where you're at. If you want help in starting, I can give you some of my feedback and some of my, from the experience that I have from when I first started. So let me know in the comments down below. I hope you got so much out of this video and it's given you that kick or that push that you need to get started and to really break through, because there's amazing things that await you, and I can't wait to hear about them and for you to share them with us. And that's the end of the video. So make sure you like and subscribe. I hope you think I'm worthy enough for a like and subscribe. And also, if you're looking for one of my other videos on authenticity and copying as an artist, make sure you head to this video. If you would like to know more about how I first started my journey in art, make sure you head to this video. I'll see you next time and have a positive day.